There have been many reports of unidentified objects being sighted in space, including strange, glowing orbs that appear to move in ways that defy conventional explanation. While some of these sightings may be explained by natural phenomena or human error, others have proven to be more difficult to explain and have fueled speculation about the possibility of advanced life. Just recently, a man looking through NASA's library said that he found a mysterious photograph that shows what appears to be a silver orb. These mysterious orbs have been sighted all across the world, and researchers interested in the unknown have documented these sightings, many of which have remained a mystery. Many astronauts have come forward with their strange encounters, and some have detailed seeing a strange orb-like object that seems to have the ability to defy the laws of physics. This photograph appears to show one of these silver orbs, hovering just a few feet from the International Space Station. At first, many who saw the image assumed it was just a piece of space debris or some kind of malfunction with the equipment, but as they zoomed in, they realized that it was something else entirely. The orb was perfectly smooth and spherical, with no visible seams or markings. It seemed to be made of a strange metallic substance that shimmered in the light of the nearby stars. Oddly enough, many who've seen these objects have reported that they couldn't help but feel a sense of unease when they looked at it. Some eyewitnesses have said that there was something about it that seemed almost alive, as if it was watching them with a kind of detached curiosity. The mysterious orb that was seen close to the space station began to move, floating away and towards the darkness of space. One of the most famous sightings of a strange orb occurred in 1991, when astronauts on board the STS-43 space shuttle Atlantis reported seeing a strange, glowing object in space. The object was described as a greenish-blue ball of light and was seen moving across the sky at a speed that far exceeded the capabilities of any known human spacecraft. Despite extensive investigations into the incident, the object remains unexplained to this day. Since that time, there have been many other reports of orbs being sighted in space. For example, a video taken by a NASA camera on board the International Space Station showed a bright, glowing orb moving across the Earth's atmosphere. The object appeared to be moving in a controlled manner and did not behave like any known natural or man-made object. Similarly, there have been many reports of strange, glowing orbs being seen in the skies above military installations and nuclear power plants. Some have suggested that these objects could be evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence, while others have argued that they could be the result of secret government projects or advanced military technology. While the existence of mysterious orbs in space remains a subject of debate and speculation, there are several factors that suggest the possibility of advanced life. For example, the sheer size and scale of the universe suggests that there could be countless other civilizations out there, many of which may be more advanced than our own. In addition, recent advances in astronomy and astrobiology have provided new insights into the conditions necessary for life to arise and thrive. For example, scientists have discovered a number of exoplanets, or planets outside our solar system, that are located in the so-called habitable zone around their parent stars, where conditions may be suitable for life as we know it. However, despite these exciting developments, the search for advanced life remains a challenging and complex task. While we may continue to observe strange phenomena and anomalies in space, it is important to approach these observations with a critical eye and consider alternative explanations. Ultimately, the search for orbs and other anomalous phenomena in space is an important part of our ongoing exploration of the cosmos and represents one of the most exciting and fascinating areas of scientific research today. By carefully analyzing the data and remaining open to new possibilities, we can continue to push the boundaries of human knowledge and discover new insights into the mysteries of our universe.
Earth's water may have come from the sun. When we have been looking at other planets, searching for life, one of the quickest ways to rule out potential life forms has been to question whether that planet has water. To do this, though, we tend to need to start a little closer to home and figure out exactly where our water came from. And could planets without water now somehow develop water a little later on? Now, however, scientists have begun to question a new, previously unconsidered source of water: the sun. Some astronomers are now suggesting that water may be the result of solar radiation carried to Earth on asteroids billions of years ago. The research was led by a team based at the University of Glasgow, and their study suggests the Sun as a source would match with the isotopic signature of water here on Earth. Their research consisted of atom probe tomography, a method that allows asteroid samples to be analysed. Some of these do carry water, while others do not. The study's lead author, Dr. Luke Daly, said, "The solar winds are streams of mostly hydrogen and helium ions, which flow constantly from the Sun out into space." Also supporting this new research is the debunking of the current theories. Professor Bland at Curtin University explained that the arrival of water on Earth via asteroids simply is not an idea that seems viable. The testing of the isotopic signature, which is essentially like the fingerprint of the water on Earth, does not match the fingerprints of the asteroids. This means that while the asteroids may have contributed, there must be at least one other source of water here on Earth. This Glaswegian team did show an isotopic signature matching with the Sun, however, suggesting that the Sun could be a contender in the form of solar wind. The overarching idea is that solar wind creates water on the surface of small grains of dust that then remains on the particles until they arrive on Earth. We still lack definitive answers. The research does give us another idea and brings us one step closer to answering a question that has baffled scientists for decades.
NASA telescope finds a Milky Way twin 9 billion light-years away. We all have theories of what might happen if people could successfully time travel and go back in time. While it's not yet possible to return to the past in its more direct sense, historically speaking, looking at stars can sometimes give scientists and researchers insight into the early history of many different astronomical phenomena. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope recently discovered a galaxy that has a significant and notable resemblance to our own. This is huge because it gives researchers and scientists a lot of insight and information about what the galaxy must have looked like and various traits it might have sustained in its infancy. The galaxy, referred to as the Milky Way's twin or mirror image, is nicknamed the Sparkler, owing to the fact that there are about 24 glittering globular clusters orbiting around it. There are also a few dwarf galaxies nearby that are essentially swallowed up by this twin galaxy because it's so large in comparison. This finding is already adding to the existing research and information that we have about our galaxy. The JWST was able to show what the Sparkler looked like when the entire universe was only 4 billion years old. What this implies is that the Sparkler, much like the Milky Way, must have started developing and forming quite early in cosmic history. Not only that, but if it continues in the same growth pattern and path as the Milky Way, through galaxy acquisitions and mergers, then in about 9 billion years, it will likely look just like the Milky Way. The Sparkler is in the direction of the constellation Volans, in the sky of the southern hemisphere. It's quite far from us at about 9 billion light-years away, meaning it must have come into existence a few billion years after the Big Bang. Like the Milky Way, it did not just appear into being. It formed, developed, and grew. Both galaxies began as what is called overdensities of matter, a gathering of substances like neutral hydrogen clouds. These particles were attracted to each other due to strong gravitational pulls, creating blobs and clumps, some of which remained separate as clusters of stars. The Milky Way, and quite possibly the Sparkler, then went through a period of acquisition and merging, during which it cannibalized on surrounding dwarf galaxies, thereby adding to its own size and makeup. This is a big evolutionary step in our own galaxy, because scientists think that at least half of the Milky Way's mass came from these mergers. While it's not known for certain whether the Sparkler will definitely follow the same evolutionary growth as the Milky Way, the JWST seems to indicate that there is a high probability that it will.
Astronomers find mysterious cavity in space 500 light-years away. Astronomers have recently discovered an enormous cavity which they believe was the result of a stellar explosion millions of years ago. Described as a bubble-shaped void, they discovered the cavity between the Perseus and Taurus constellations. More precisely, it was found in a star-forming region, which is a cluster of gas and dust which to date scientists believe form from supernovas. Having mapped the Perseus-Taurus constellation star-forming region, data collected by the Gaia spacecraft revealed the huge cavity which previously went unnoticed by 2D mapping systems. Scientists had long been aware of this star region. The depth and thickness of the molecular clouds associated with the region had been a mystery for some time. There are a couple of current theories as to the presence of the void within this star-forming region. Either it is possible that a supernova exploded at the core of the bubble, pushing gas outwards and expanding the cavity, or a series of supernovae over the period of millions of years created and added to it over time. Although they may not know for sure what caused this phenomenon, scientists are well aware of how much more there is to learn about the region and supernova-related events in general. Discovering this void while trying to understand how gas and dust are released and rearranged during stellar explosions, they now want to turn their focus to the chain of events triggered by the ending of a star and the resulting supernova explosion. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.